Let me tell you something real, something raw, something most folks don't want to admit. You can't lead anyone else until you learn how to lead yourself. You can't fix the world if your house is out of order. You can't give direction if your own compass is broken. We're living in times where people chase trends, follow crowds, and mimic movements. Yet they've forgotten how to stand still long enough to hear their own voice. But that stops with you, because you weren't born to be a follower of chaos. You were born to be the flow. You were born to lead your own life with conviction, with clarity, and with courage. Leadership is not a title, it's not a position, and it's definitely not something someone hands you. Real leadership is internal. It starts when you stop pointing fingers, stop blaming your upbringing, stop waiting for someone to come rescue you. And instead, you look in the mirror and say, if this life is mine, then I better take the wheel. See, everybody wants influence, but very few want discipline. Everybody wants to shine, but not everybody wants to grind. And most people are out here looking for permission to be great. But the leaders, the real ones, they don't wait for doors to open. They build doors with their bare hands. You got to learn to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. A thermometer reflects the environment. It reacts to what's around it. But a thermostat, it sets the tone. It determines the climate. You walk into the room and you shift the atmosphere. You walk into chaos and you bring calm. You face confusion and you bring direction. You hit resistance and you don't back down. You rise. But that kind of presence doesn't happen by accident. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the result of daily decisions, small acts of discipline, the conversations you have with yourself when nobody else is around. It's the standard you set when nobody's watching. Because being the flow means you don't wait to feel motivated. You move anyway. It means you don't follow trends. You follow truth. It means you don't bend just because others are afraid to stand. And when you start leading your own life, guess what happens? The world starts paying attention. Because most people are drifting. Most people are lost in comparison, stuck in fear, paralyzed by the opinions of others. But when they see someone who owns their decisions, someone who doesn't fold under pressure, someone who's not swayed by the noise, that stands out. Now let's be clear. Leading your life doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It means you're willing to carry the weight. It means you're okay being misunderstood. It means you show up for your calling, even when no one claps. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. You don't need 100 people in your corner. You just need a mission and the will to walk it out. You've got to lead your emotions, lead your habits, lead your thoughts. Because if you don't, someone else will. And if you're not careful, the world will hand you a script for a life you never asked for. They'll tell you how to live, what to want, what to chase, what to fear, and before you know it, you're living someone else's dream, stuck in someone else's box, performing for someone else's approval. Break that, shatter that. This is your life. This is your stage. This is your script to write. You weren't born to fit in. You were born to lead from within. So stop asking, what should I do? And start declaring, this is what I will do. Stop waiting for the right time. You're in the time, right now. Stop scrolling and start stepping. Stop copying and start creating. Because when you become the flow, you don't follow currents. You are the current. You move with purpose. You speak with clarity. You act with power. But here's the part that nobody tells you. Leading yourself means sacrificing comfort. It means doing the work when nobody is watching. It means waking up early, not because you feel like it, but because your purpose demands it. It means saying no to distractions, and yes to your destiny. It means walking away from circles that feel good, but keep you small. It means trusting your gut when your fear wants to freeze you. And most of all, it means making decisions that future you will thank you for, not ones that just please the moment. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be committed, to keep showing up, to keep growing, to keep leading your life like it's the only one you've got. Because it is. Let me remind you of something that may sting a little. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you lead yourself into. Most folks want results without responsibility. They want greatness without growth. But life doesn't work like that. It responds to the consistent leader within you, not the emotional follower that shows up only when it's convenient. You see, leading your own life means you become the standard, not for anyone else, but for yourself. It means you don't lower your energy just because everyone around you is stuck in mediocrity. You raise the temperature. You demand more. And that's where real leadership begins, not with control over others, but with mastery over yourself. Ask yourself, are you leading your morning, or is your morning leading you? Are you managing your energy, or are you leaking it to distractions and drama? Are you writing your future or recycling the same excuses day after day? Because every decision you make is a vote for the kind of life you're building. Every habit is either a brick or a wrecking ball. Every yes or no shapes the direction of your life. And if you're not conscious, if you're not leading from intention, you'll end up living a life you didn't choose. You want to lead? Then start here. Take full ownership of your story. Not just the highlight reel, the pain, the losses, the lessons, everything you've been through. That's leadership training. Every failure, that was a test of character. Every betrayal, a chance to rise stronger. Every lonely night, preparation for your next season. Don't resent the struggle. It was sculpting you. Because when you lead your own life, you stop waiting for someone to pick you. You pick yourself. You stop waiting for the opportunity. You create the opportunity. You stop hoping to be seen. You show up and make yourself undeniable. Let me be real with you. People may doubt you. They may overlook you. They may sleep on your vision. But none of that matters if you refuse to sleep on yourself. And the moment you become your own source of belief, the moment you stop outsourcing your confidence, is the moment everything shifts. Because you weren't built to chase acceptance. You were built to carry impact. You weren't made to shrink around small minds. You were made to stretch toward bold vision. And don't think for a second that leadership means you'll always have followers. Sometimes leading your own life means walking alone. Sometimes it means letting go of people who only love the old version of you. Sometimes it means silence, solitude, stillness. But that's where the real voice of purpose starts to rise. You can't lead from noise, you lead from knowing. And knowing comes from alignment, from prayer, from patience, from purpose. You've got to get clear on who you are when no one's watching. Because it's easy to post motivation, to share quotes, to look the part. But when the cameras are off, when life punches you in the mouth, who are you then? That's where leadership lives. It lives in the late nights of self-doubt, where you choose discipline over discouragement. It lives in the early mornings, where you choose progress over perfection. It lives in the conversations where you speak truth, even when your voice shakes. And yes, it lives in the decisions to walk away from chaos, from gossip, from anything that tries to pull you back to the old you. Because leading your life is not about always being right. It's about always being real. Real with yourself, real with your growth, real with your vision. Too many people are performing success instead of building it. They're chasing recognition instead of living in revelation. They're trying to go viral instead of going deep. But that's not you. That's not who you are anymore. You've been called to something higher. Not louder, higher. Not faster, stronger. Not bigger, truer. And when you lead your life from that place, from that stillness and conviction, you don't have to chase moments. Moments come to you. Doors open. Paths align. The right people start appearing. Not because you forced it, because you flowed into it. Because remember, you're not here to fight the current. You're here to be the current. You're not here to control every outcome. You're here to align with your outcome. You're not here to live a life that makes sense to everyone. You're here to live a life that makes peace within you. So don't rush the process. Lead it. Don't fear the silence. Listen to it. Don't resent the pressure. Become stronger through it. You are the flow. You are the fire. You are the leader. And now it's time to own it. Let's go deeper now, because leadership isn't just about drive, it's about direction. You can move fast and still be headed the wrong way. You can be busy every day and still be going nowhere. That's why the foundation of leading your life is not just movement, it's alignment. Alignment with your values, alignment with your spirit, alignment with the higher calling that's been placed on your life since day one. See, the world will try to hand you a script. It'll tell you who you should be, how you should act, what you should chase. But leading your life means tearing that script up and writing your own. It means living a life that feels right, not just looks right. It means doing the hard work in private so you can stand tall in public without pretending. There's a difference between popularity and purpose. One fades, the other fulfills. There's a difference between noise and voice. One distracts, the other directs. And there's a difference between reacting and responding. One is emotion, the other is wisdom. Leaders don't just react to life, they respond from clarity. They don't chase every opportunity, they discern what aligns. They don't waste energy proving themselves to the wrong audience. They stay focused on the mission. Let me tell you something. When you lead your own life, you'll stop needing applause to feel valuable. Because your value isn't up for debate. It's not determined by trends or timelines. It's not based on likes or followers. It's based on the fact that you are walking in purpose, and purpose always carries power. And power isn't about control. It's about ownership. Own your story. Own your journey. Own your decisions. Own your energy. Own the space you take up in this world. Stop shrinking for people who never planned to grow. Stop explaining your growth to folks who only understand comfort. Stop apologizing for being the kind of person who refuses to settle. You know why people get uncomfortable around leaders? Because leaders disrupt comfort zones. They ask hard questions. They raise standards. They walk in rooms and shift the temperature. And sometimes that's lonely. But that's the cost of clarity. That's the price of being the flow. You're not here to fit in. You're here to transform. You're not here to follow someone else's map. You're here to draw your own. You're not here to stay in line. You're here to build a new lane. And when you do, when you finally start trusting your own voice more than outside opinions, you'll begin to notice a shift. You'll stop forcing things that don't feel right. You'll start attracting what matches your energy. You'll begin to feel a kind of peace that can't be bought, only earned through self-leadership. But let me warn you, it won't always be easy. There will be days when you doubt yourself, moments when quitting feels like the simpler option, times when you feel misunderstood, unsupported, unseen. But remember this, those are not signs to stop. They're signs you're growing. They're signs you're shedding the version of you that no longer fits the life you're building. They're signs you're walking the path that few have the courage to walk. Because leading your own life is the path of courage, of consistency, of character. It means showing up when you don't feel like it, It means saying no to what's easy and yes to what's right. It means doing the internal work nobody claps for. But that changes everything. Your character is your currency. Your consistency is your compass. Your conviction is your crown. So hold your head high, not in arrogance, but in authority. Because when you walk in alignment with your truth, when you stop outsourcing your peace, when you stop begging for permission, you become unstoppable. And don't forget, you're not chasing the flow, you are the flow. So many people are waiting for a green light, waiting for validation, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for someone to say, "You're ready." But real leaders don't wait, they move. They don't need permission to grow. They don't need applause to act, because they've learned one of life's most powerful truths. You can't lead anything out there until you've learned how to lead yourself in here. It's internal, always has been. Your future doesn't start when everything looks right. It starts when you make a decision to stop playing small, to stop doubting what God already confirmed in your spirit, to stop handing the wheel of your life to people who don't even know where they're going. You can't be the flow if you keep letting the crowd tell you which direction to move. You can't be the flow if you're still trying to impress people who don't even respect themselves. You can't be the flow if you're still pretending to be someone you're not, just to get acceptance. You be the flow by being solid, by being grounded, by being intentional. You become the flow by mastering your mornings, sharpening your focus, protecting your energy. You stay the flow by staying humble when you win and staying hungry when you lose. This life will test you, not because it wants to break you, but because it wants to reveal you. Reveal what you're made of. Reveal how you lead when things fall apart. Reveal whether your identity is rooted in popularity or purpose. And that's where real leadership is born, not in convenience, but in challenge. When you're tired, but you show up anyway. When you're misunderstood, but you stay authentic anyway. When you're doubted, but you keep building anyway. That's when the shift happens. That's when you step into your calling. That's when you realize you don't need to chase what you can attract through alignment. The world will try to distract you. That's its job. But your job, stay centered, stay grounded, stay faithful to the vision that was whispered to you in the dark, even when nobody else sees it. Because when you lead your life from that place, you stop comparing, you stop competing, you stop being shaken by other people's noise. Why? Because you know who you are, you know what you're building, you know what it costs, and you're willing to pay the price. And here's the part most people miss. Being the flow doesn't mean everything is smooth. It means you've learned how to keep going even when things get rough. It means you've learned how to move with grace even when you're under pressure. It means you've learned how to create momentum where others only see obstacles. That's real power. Not being the loudest in the room, not having all the followers, not being the most liked, but being the most anchored. So let this be your reminder. You don't have to move fast to be powerful. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. You don't have to be popular to lead. All you have to be is authentic. All you have to do is keep walking. All you have to remember is you were built for this, because you're not just going with the flow anymore, you are the flow. Let's talk about pressure, because when you decide to lead your own life, the pressure comes from all directions. Pressure to succeed, pressure to be perfect, pressure to prove. But pressure isn't your enemy. Pressure is what reveals who's real and who's rehearsed, who's committed and who's comfortable, who's built to last and who's just playing the part. You were never meant to fold under pressure. You were meant to be forged by it. Diamonds are made under pressure. Leaders are shaped by adversity. Purpose is sharpened in silence, in sacrifice, in seasons where no one's watching but God. See, when you're the flow, you don't run from the pressure. You learn to breathe through it. You learn to let it focus you, not break you. And part of leading your own life means you stop explaining that process to everyone. Some people won't get it, and that's okay. Growth offends the stagnant. Purpose offends the distracted. Clarity offends confusion. But you can't dim your light just because someone else refuses to open their eyes. Let them doubt you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. Because you're not living for their opinions. You're living for impact. And impact doesn't require validation. It requires consistency. It requires inner strength. It requires vision when no one else sees what you see. That's what separates leaders from followers. Leaders don't just follow trends, they follow truth. Leaders don't let fear run their life. They let faith guide their steps. Leaders don't beg for seats, they build their own tables. And the truth is, your future is waiting on you to stop hesitating and start owning who you are. Stop apologizing for dreaming big. Stop holding back your gift just to keep the peace. Stop underestimating the power of being fully, unapologetically you. Because leadership starts there. Not in titles, not in talent, but in truth. Truth about what you were born to do. Truth about what you're no longer willing to tolerate. Truth about how you show up when nobody's clapping. If you want to be the flow, you've got to stop waiting for the right moment and start becoming the right person. Every single day, you make the choice. Do I lead or do I follow? Do I create or do I complain? Do I grow or do I coast? And trust me, coasting is comfortable, but it kills destiny. Comfort zones never built legacies. You want to build something that lasts? You want to become someone that inspires others just by how you carry yourself? Then you've got to go where most won't. You've got to walk through storms others run from. You've got to stay grounded when everything around you is shaking. Because you're not just surviving, you're leading. You're not just existing, you're evolving. You're not just chasing change, you're becoming the change. And that's what the flow really is. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's steady, it's strong, it's sacred. It's who you become when you choose discipline over drama, faith over fear, legacy over likes. Let the world keep scrolling. Let the crowd keep chasing noise. You're building something eternal. You're walking in rhythm with purpose. You're moving like someone who knows the destination because they trust the direction. You're not a follower of fear anymore. You are the flow. Now here's the part most people miss. Leading your life isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily recommitment. Every sunrise is a reset. Every breath is another vote for your future. And the truth is, some days you won't feel like a leader. Some days you'll question the journey, doubt your worth, and feel tempted to go back to what's familiar. But listen closely. Those are the days that shape you most. Because anyone can feel strong when the path is easy. Anyone can feel confident when everything's going right. But real leadership, true flow, is staying rooted when life feels uncertain. It's rising even when you're running on empty. It's believing when there's no evidence yet, no applause yet, no outcome yet. It's easy to follow when the crowd is cheering. It's powerful to walk alone when no one understands your steps. That's what it means to lead your own life. It means you stop waiting for permission and you start giving yourself direction. It means you stop begging for love and start becoming love. It means you stop trying to fit in and finally stand out for all the right reasons. You want to be the flow? Then move different. Think different. speak different, live different. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to stand out and stand strong. You were born to set the tone, not follow it. You were born to create waves, not ride them. And the moment you understand that, really understand it, you'll stop settling. You'll stop tolerating the bare minimum. You'll stop shrinking to be digestible to people who were never meant to sit at your table. You'll start commanding your time, protecting your peace, and building your purpose brick by brick. Not in a rush, not for the spotlight, but because you finally decided your life is worth the fight. And when that shift happens, when you stop looking around for someone to lead, and you look in the mirror instead, that's when your life truly begins. That's when every obstacle becomes opportunity. That's when every no becomes motivation. That's when every lonely night becomes preparation for the platform God already prepared. So let them watch, let them wonder, let them whisper, because while they question what you're doing, you're too focused on becoming. You don't owe anyone explanations. You don't owe anyone ease. You owe yourself execution. You owe your future everything you've got left. Because when it's all said and done, when your time is up, you don't want to leave this world full of could-haves and would-haves. You want to leave empty, used up, poured out, led by purpose, not pressure, driven by truth, not trends. So from this moment forward, lead, live, move with the current of who you're becoming. Be still when it's time to listen. Be bold when it's time to act. Be flow when it's time to rise. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how fast you moved or how loud you were. It's about who you became when no one was watching. It's about how much love you gave, how much peace you protected, and how hard you fought to stay true in a world trying to shape you into something you're not. You are not here to follow chaos. You are here to lead your life. So step forward now and be the flow. If you made it this far, drop 100 in the comments so I know you're part of the 1% who's serious about growth.